Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of Jake's Space on YouTube. I have never made a YouTube video before, I've never edited a video before, I've never recorded a video before. I have no idea how this is going to go, but I want to do it, so I'm going to do it. I hope it comes out okay, but if it doesn't, just let me know and we can work on making it better. For some reason, right after I decided that I want to do YouTube and podcasts, they decided to demolish the building across the street. So if you hear that, that's what it is. But yeah, let's just get into the video. Why not? So these days, smartphones have gotten very expensive. This computer right here cost about the same as a base model iPhone 14, and my Fold 4 cost about as much as like a Honda Civic you could buy. So prices just keep going up. But the thing is, smartphones don't really hold their value like something like a car does, which is very bad news for the people who buy these expensive smartphones. But the people who want to buy them secondhand on like a Swappa or a Facebook Marketplace is really good for them because they really, really drop in value very rapidly. So I decided to look through Swappa and see what I could find in terms of buying a used Flagship instead of a new mid-range phone. And I found some really interesting stuff. So first, looking at iPhones, the cheapest iPhone that you can buy is the SE. So this is Megan's SE2. Now there's a third generation SE, which has the same internals as the iPhone 13. This one had the same as the 11, but it's the same body. It's the body of an iPhone 8. So it's an updated version. It starts, as you can see here, starts at about $430, which is, obviously the cheapest iPhone that you can buy, and it's pretty up-to-date hardware, but we can do better. So if we look at Swappa, we can actually get an iPhone 12 Pro. It's in fair condition, but you're going to put a case on it anyway, for about $430 as well. So the 12 Pro, it has a better screen. It's got a 6.1-inch OLED compared to the SE's 4.7-inch LCD. The processor isn't as new. That's the A14 Bionic as compared to the A15 Bionic that's in the SE, the third generation SE. But it has 6 gigabytes of RAM compared to the SE's 3 gigabytes of RAM. So, and then you've got a much better camera system. The SE just has the single camera. The 12 Pro has the 3 cameras, the main camera, telephoto, and the ultra wide. And just the camera quality is so much better. Battery life is going to be better. Basically everything is going to be better, and it's really a no-brainer to get the 12 Pro instead of the 3rd gen SE. When it comes to Samsung devices, the least expensive Galaxy that I would recommend for most people would be the A53. Which is their mid-range device. Starts at about $450, and it's got a really nice 6.5-inch OLED, 120 hertz refresh rate. That's a really, really nice display. It's got a pretty strong battery, 5,000 milliamp hours, that gives you pretty strong battery life. But as with most mid-range phones, the camera and the processor are lacking. So the main camera is a 64 megapixel camera that's pretty decent, but it's flanked by 2 pretty bad cameras, an ultra wide and a macro camera that really aren't adding anything to the camera system. And then the processor is just a mid-range Samsung Exynos processor that's really not doing much for you. One really nice benefit of the A53 is that it has 128 gigabyte storage by default with 6 gigabytes of RAM, which is really pretty good for a mid-range phone with this price point. But we can do a lot better. So on Swappa, you can find a S21 Ultra for about $450 as well. And the S21 Ultra was $1,200 when it was released, which was just about 2 years ago at this point. And with the S21 Ultra, you're getting just about the best Galaxy experience possible. You're getting a pretty gigantic 6.8-inch screen. It is curved, which some people don't like, but I personally don't mind it so much. We're talking 120 hertz refresh rate, 1440p display. Really just an outstanding display on that one, as well as a great camera system You got the 108 megapixel main camera, you've got your 10 times telephoto zoom camera, your ultra wide, and your 3 times telephoto camera, as well as the 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Like, S21 Ultra is a great phone, one of the best ever, honestly. It was definitely at the top of the food chain whenever it was in its, production run. So it's definitely one that I would pick over the A53 for sure. Now, for my Samsung people who might still have like a Note 8, 9, 10, there is a Note that you can get as well. You can get the Note 20 Ultra. It's the Note from a little under 2 years ago. Or no, I guess a little over 2 years ago. So it's going to be a little bit older than the S21 Ultra. It has the previous generation processor, the 865 Plus, but it does have a pretty similar camera. So it has the 108 megapixel main camera from the S21 Ultra, but it only has a 50 times zoom, which is like only 50 times zoom, and it doesn't have the shorter zoom, the 3 times telephoto. But still really good camera system, and it's a Note, so it comes with the S Pen. It's got the boxier design. Definitely, if you're a Note person, this is the one I would go with. You can get it right around that same price range as an S21 Ultra, and you get the S Pen if that's kind of more your style. So that one, definitely. The only downside would be that it's a little bit older. It's about 6 months older than the S21 Ultra. So kind of trade-offs there, but if you like the Note, I would definitely say go with the Note 20 Ultra. That's going to be your best bet. Now on to my Pixel people. So if you've read any of my past posts or anything like that, you'll know that I'm a big Pixel fan. And the Pixel 6a actually won my best mid-range phone of the year for last year. So the Pixel 6a starts at $450, which is a really great price. It's got a great camera system. It actually won MKBHD's blind smartphone test for this year. And it's the only downside for me. It's a pretty small phone. It's a 6.1 inch display. It's only a 60 hertz display, which would be tough for me coming from 120 hertz. And then also, it doesn't have wireless charging. So that's a big downside for me because I use a ton of wireless charging. But it's a really good phone. Camera is outstanding. And it's got the Google Tensor chip, so it's got a lot of the Pixel exclusives, and a lot of cool like AI stuff that it can do with the camera and whatnot. So on the used side, we have the Pixel 6 Pro. And the 6 Pro is, you can get pretty cheap. You can get it around the $315, $320 mark. And there are kind of reasons for that. It was a great phone. It has an outstanding camera. It's got a telephoto camera that the 6A isn't going to have. It has a 50 megapixel main camera. But it had some bugs, especially with connectivity was a big problem for the 6 Pro. And also battery life on it was not great. I don't know what it is about the 6 Pro, and even I had the 6, but the battery life is just not great. And I don't know, I never had a 6 Pro, but my 6 had some real problems with overheating. I don't know if it was the same on the 6 Pro. They fixed it on the 7 Pro, which is good news. And they fixed the battery life stuff as well. But honestly, with the Pixels, I would just go with the 6A. It's almost always on sale. Right now, you can get it on the Google store for $350, which is just crazy for the amount of phone that you're getting for that price. I would just go with the 6A, to be honest. So there you have it. There are definitely some really good alternatives to buying a mid-range phone. Now, the mid-range phones are fine, especially the 6A. That's a phone that most people can get by with pretty easily. And I think pretty much the same with the A53. It's a pretty solid phone. The camera really lets it down, which is somewhere where the 6A shines. The SE would not be my pick. I'm not an iPhone person, obviously, but if I was, I would use something else. I had an SE2 for a while. It's just so small. The battery life isn't very good. Unless you like barely use your phone, I really wouldn't recommend that one. But I'll tell you what, I am shocked that you can get an S21 Ultra for $450. And that phone was $1,200 when it was brand new. So that's just crazy. That would definitely be the one that I would pick if I was going to buy a used phone. It would probably be the S21 Ultra. It's an outstanding device even today. Definitely would be my pick. But yeah, so that's the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it doesn't look terrible. It really might. If you saw the setup I'm using for this, you know. We're using the 7 Pro as a camera. I actually bought a USB mic. It's on my lap right now. So, you know, we're making it happen. I want to do this, so I'm doing it. So, leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed, and just let me know if you have anything to say. And y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you probably next week. I'm trying to do one a week, so we'll see how it goes. Y'all have a good one.